They will fall to the ground. That is wax. They're building wax because their bellies are so full of honey, they have to make wax because they know they're going to make a wax for their new hive. I'm looking for the queen every time I take a little scoop here. I'm looking for her. She's someplace around here. Up there she is. She's a young queen.
What are you going to do with the bees on the ground? Oh, I got the queen. You got the queen, I think. Did you get stung? Did you find the queen?
Yep. There's the queen. She's a young little queen.
Oh, she is.
She's what's called a first-year queen.
How do you know
That's
it's
okay.
the queen? How do you know
Because she has a longer abdomen and her back is shiny.
So many bees on your head.
That's okay.
Oh,
They're my friends.
so cool?
What they will do is when this rain stops and things warm up, the bees will fly and they're going to fly into that box. The box that I put there is called a nuke box, and it's like a little apartment for bees. It's a temporary home. Tomorrow, they're going to fly in and they're going to use that as their home. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here at night because bees do not like to fly at night. So they're all going to go in and I'll come get the box and I will take it home and I'll introduce them to my beehives that I have at home. So I have about 10 beehives at home right now. And yeah. I have a couple over at Rossmore Garden and I have them at a couple of friends. So there's bees everywhere, but they're fun and they're, just remember, bees are very, very kind. You want to leave them alone and don't hassle, but they will not bother you if you don't bother them, okay? A beehive can range from about 5,000 bees to 60,000 bees. And this is about 4,000 or 5,000 bees in a swarm. So it's a smaller swarm. But you can get a lot of bees in a hive, depending on how many eggs the queen lays. Now the queen's one job. The queen has really one job, and that's to lay eggs. She wants to make as many babies as possible so they can go out in spring, collect nectar so they can make honey. Because honey is what they live off of. That's their food. And without honey, they can't live in the winter when there's no blossoms and herbicides. The biggest threat to bees is us spraying nasty chemicals on our plants. When we try to kill one creature that's invasive, we're killing a good creature that we need. Now, just a quick little education here, that bees are not native to North America. They are actually considered an invasive species, which means that they don't belong here. However, the original settlers bought them. Do you guys know why they brought them originally? No. They had to see at night. They had to make wax so they can have candles, so they can see at night. This was before they did any oil lanterning and whaling to get lots of fat for rendering to make oil lamps. And then before they made any petroleum and saps and what like that. So it was the original settlers brought them over for wax making. Of course, honey and honeybees have become so important because we rely on them to pollinate our crops. So they're responsible for 1/3 of all the food you eat. They go and pollinate. So bees are only attracted to flowers. They go for nectar, and they collect nectar and pollen. Okay, so they produce wax, honey, propolis. Those are the main three things that bees produce in the hive. Okay, now wasps are a different, they're a colony, but they don't produce honey. They're meat eaters, they're protein eaters. That's why at a picnic, you have a bee going around you that's a wasp, okay? Now, those are extremely invasive also. And I have a little tip. If you guys are gonna have a picnic, what a great thing to do is right when you get there at a picnic, if you have, like, say you're gonna have a bologna sandwich, which I hope you don't have bologna sandwich, but anyway, you take a piece of bologna first, and you go about 10 feet away, and you put the piece of bologna up on a piece of fence, and you wait about 15 minutes before you guys start bringing out your food, because what they'll do is they will go and start going to that piece of bologna, knowing that it's a free piece of protein. And they'll eat that, and they'll leave you guys alone for the most part. When they sell you the trap, they sell you this little packet of fluid in there, and that's actually a pheromone. And it doesn't always work, only works early spring. What you really should do inside there, when you unscrew it, there's going to be a little fork in there. You take a piece of raw chicken or some dog food and you put it in there, and you screw it in, and you're going to have thousands of wasps. Now, if you are trying to get rid of wasps for the entire season, right now is the time you get rid of the queens. And the way you get rid of the queens, you take a bucket, fill it up 3/4 of the way with water, okay? And you put some, soap like Dawn, whatever, and mix it up, because that will reduce the surface tension. You take a string, you put it across, okay? And then on the center of the string, you can put a little piece of meat, okay? What happens, or you put a stick and a string.
Is it this wall hive?
Hold on a second. And so you put the meat about an inch off the height of the water. They are so ravenous and so gluttonous and so greedy, they want to take the biggest piece of meat they can. So they'll chew this chunk of meat, and they'll grab it, and they'll try to fly, and what happens is they can't just fly up. They have to fly down and up, because they are so heavy. They hit that surface, and unfortunately they drown. But that takes care of a queen that gets rid of 60,000 wasps.